Hello everyone, my name is Olivia and welcome to a new vlog. I thought I would combine a bunch of days in my life to create a casual vlog because those are some of my favorite to watch. So I took you to the Met to see the Frederick exhibit with my friends Jessica and Sarah. And this was an exhibit that I was so excited to see because there's an iconic painting from Frederick that I really wanted to see in person. It's originally in Germany and I knew I would never really ever travel to Germany unless there's like a layover. So I was like, this is the perfect opportunity to see this in person because it is so iconic. And we ended up going to the Met and spending, I think, 2 hours in the Frederick exhibit. They compiled over 75 paintings for this exhibit, and we took our time admiring every single piece of work because it was so beautiful. He's one of the most detailed and gorgeous painters that I've ever had the pleasure of admiring, and of course he's a Virgo because his attention to detail is absolutely stunning. And it's so fascinating to be able to see his work in person. One, because the people who worked at the Met allowed us to get very close to these paintings because a lot of them are pretty small, like they're the size of a book, and you have to get that close to be able to see his outlines, to be able to see his brushstrokes, and his ability to make his paintings look like an actual photograph was so awe-inspiring. And we really took our time admiring every single piece of art that he had created, and it was such a beautiful exhibit. I believe it's in the Met until May. So I'm so happy I was able to see it, and I was able to take my friends because they just went along with me just to be able to see the exhibit, and we all came out together agreeing that he's one of our new favorite artists of all time. And I'm so upset that I didn't get myself a Frederick book at the gift shop afterwards because I was like, oh, it's fine, I'll just order it online. But there was a book there that I believe is only available at the Met, and I just really want it. But I did find like 3 Frederick books that I do have on my wish list that I just need to add to my collection because I love art books. I love learning more about art history. I thrifted this Reformation dress and it has a small tear in the seam of the back slit, so I'm going to use an invisible stitch to sew it back up and make it good as new. Because my shoulders are smaller than the average shoulder, I have to sew down the straps just a little bit. If you could see right here, I folded over and I already did it on this side and it came out really nicely. So that's what I'm going to do to this side while I listen to my audiobook. I have a lot of updates here for you. I have some books to haul, some clothes to haul, some makeup to haul. So let's start with the clothes. I only have one item that I purchased as part of a campaign to raise money for those who were affected by the LA fires, and it is from Julian Solomita, who is the husband of Jenna Marbles. It's a little bit difficult to hold up with one hand, but we got ourselves an Aries Kitchen for LA shirt because he's an Aries, and the back of the shirt is really gorgeous. Let me show you. I ordered this in a medium and we both had the idea that we wanted to crop it because Julian wore his cropped in the photos that he posted on his Instagram and we thought it looked really nice. So that's what we did a couple days ago, and the hem tape came out really nice. It was my first ever time working with hem tape, and I don't know if I would use hem tape again or if I would just sew a hem. I feel like the hem tape makes it feel a little bit stiff towards the hem, and I'd much rather just sew it so it feels a little bit more natural and flowy. But this was my first ever experiment with hemming something with hem tape, so it was a little bit less stressful because whenever I hem things, sometimes it comes out a little bit wonky and a little bit like warped or bubbly, but I'm really happy that we were able to crop the shirts to the length that we both wanted, and I'm so excited to eventually wear this during the summer. It's a little bit too cold for me to wear this right now, as you can tell by me wearing a turtleneck, but I'm really happy we were able to donate to an organization to help those affected by the LA fires, because 100% of the proceeds of these t-shirts went to an organization that Julian was raising money for, and I also have some really great merch to add to my closet now. The next 3 items I thrifted, and I feel like I've gotten really good at thrifting, or maybe I'm just getting very lucky. But I thrifted an electric blue Banana Republic sweater. It's in an extra small and I usually wear a medium, but I tried it on and it fits very nicely, and I've been really attracted to this color blue. I love how vibrant it is, and I feel like it goes well with my skin tone and my hair color, so I was so happy I came across this sweater in a thrift store, because I have been pinning a lot of electric blue sweater outfit ideas on Pinterest, so I feel like that one really came into my life at the perfect time. And then I thrifted 2 dresses, and these prices are going to make you gasp. I thrifted a $300 Reformation dress for only $30 at a thrift store. So I basically got it so much percentage off. I'm not going to do the math. I'm not going to pretend that I can do math like that. Did I get it like... I'm not going to pretend to know how to do math. It's fine. I got it at such a steal. The only issue that I had with it was that the straps were a little bit too big on me, because I have small shoulders and I always have to sew straps for like tank tops and dresses. It's just like the way that my body is structured. I think my torso is a little bit too small. And then the other dress that I thrifted was a $250 dress. It was a dress that was right beside another $250 dress, which was full price, and I was shocked by the price because I would never pay that much for a dress. And then I kept looking at the rack, and right next to a $250 dress was a $250 dress, but it was marked down to $12. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? A $250 dress for $12? I snatched that up so quickly, and I had to sew that one in as well because it was a little bit too big on me. So I sewed in on the side seams, and I sewed the shoulder seams as well, because again, my shoulders are small, and I'm not going to try them on for you because it's really cold out and I just don't want to have to change clothes. But also the fact that I fell down the front steps of my house. Hold on, let me show you. Yeah, you see that? That is an ice pack wrapped around my ankle, because I fell down the front of my freaking house. This is the second time I have fallen down a staircase in the last 2 years, and you're probably like, are you okay? And I'm like, no, I don't think I was born with a sense of balance. I don't think I was born with a sense of like hand-eye coordination, and my dad always tells me it's because I've never participated in a sport. Like, quite literally, I have never, ever participated in a sport. I don't even know how to throw a ball properly. When I say I do not have hand-eye coordination, I'm not exaggerating, and that leads me to be like very clumsy. So I was walking down the front steps of my house, which are concrete, by the way. Yeah, concrete. I was wearing a new pair of boots, which I also thrifted for $12. I'll be sure to put a photo right here, because I thrifted that along with my $12 dress. Yes, I did. And it is a beautiful brown leather boot that has a higher heel than my other combat boots. So I think in my mind, I might not have been used to the length of the heel, and I didn't pick my foot up high enough to go down the next step, so the heel got caught onto the concrete step, and that led me to kerplunk down my steps. I would put a video of it, because I do have a video of it from my camera and my doorbell, but I'm not going to show you where I live, you know? But just know I fell and started laughing so hard, because what are the odds that I fall down a staircase twice in 2 years? I think it's hilarious. But yeah, I have an ice pack around my ankle because the ankle got twisted when I fell to like stop myself from falling, and now it hurts. It hurts a lot, but not as much as how much I was injured last year. I couldn't even describe how many times I went to the doctor because I fell down my staircase last year. It was like actually pretty bad. That one's like not really a laughing matter, but looking back, it is kind of a laughing matter. This one is so unserious. I just have to keep icing my ankle, and that's why I don't want to try on the clothes for you. Bella Swan, you better watch out. If there's a clumsy competition, I'm falling over into first place. Let's move on to the makeup that I received because I don't have anything else to say about me falling down the stairs. So one of my favorite brands, Thrift, kindly gifted me some more makeup to try. I previously tried a ton of their makeup in my Get Ready With Me video, which I'll be sure to link down below because I had a fun time trying out the new makeup from their line that they just released. So they sent me over a smoothing lip blush in the color Reserve, and I've been using this every single day. I actually had to get it out from my purse because I have it in my purse always, and I'm a really big fan of this. It truly is like a blush for your lips if you're looking for like a blotted look and nothing that's too dark and too vibrant on your lips. This is really nice. Then they gave me some concealer to go with my tinted moisturizer. This is in the shade 5N. I really love their skin tint, so I'm really excited to use both of those products together. And then they gave me a tinted brow gel, which I'm also very excited to try. I love Versed. I'm always such a big fan of their sensitive skin formulas, so nothing has ever hurt my skin, nothing's ever made me break out, and I love how they gotten into makeup rather than just skincare, and everything they've sent me I have loved, so thank you so much to Versed for sending that my way. And let's get into the 3 books that I have received from publishers. The first one that I want to highlight is The Dream Hotel by Laila Lalami. Ruman Alam, who wrote Leave the World Behind, which I loved, wrote a blurb for it on the back, and I'm just gonna read that because I feel like he perfectly sums up the novel, which I heard about, I think, on BookTube. I don't remember who spoke about it, but I added it to my TBR. I think it was one of their most anticipated reads of 2025, and it quickly became one of my most anticipated reads. So it says, The Dream Hotel offers a stark vision of the future in which America is a surveillance state ruled by the intertwined forces of capital and government, powered by an all too followable algorithm that determines criminality based on citizens' dreams. Laila Lalami's extraordinary new novel is more than just a political warning. This book is an exploration of the psyche itself, the strange, ungovernable forces of fate and emotion that make us human. I love any book that comments about surveillance states where even within your own mind you are being watched, similar to that with Thought Crimes in 1984. I'm really excited to pick this up, and I'm going to read it in a future reading vlog, and I'm also going to feature this other book in that same reading vlog, and it is The Echoes by Evie Wyld. Evie Wyld is the author of The Bass Rock, which I also greatly enjoyed, and one day I was looking her up on Goodreads because I wanted to know if there was another novel that she was writing, and this is her most recent release. So let's read the synopsis together. Max didn't believe in an afterlife until he died. As a reluctant ghost trying to work out why he remains, he watches his girlfriend Hannah lost in grief in the London apartment they shared and begins to realize how much of her life was invisible to him. In the weeks and months before Max's death, Hannah was haunted by the past she left in Australia to escape. A relationship with Max seemed to offer the potential of a fresh start, but certain truths refused to stay hidden. Both a love story and a ghost story, Echoes is a novel about grief and family, secrets, and who has the right to reveal them. I loved the way that Evie Wyld in The Bass Rock explored the different generations of women and the different pain that happens throughout different time periods. I was so excited to hear that a new book of hers was being released, so thank you so much to Knopf for sending this my way. And let me thank Pantheon for sending The Dream Hotel my way. I cannot wait to read these two and another novel in a future reading vlog, which you'll see eventually if you subscribe to my channel. And let's talk about the third and final novel that I have received from a publisher, which is All the Beauty in the World by Patrick Bringley. This is a memoir about Patrick's life as he loses his brother and eventually begins working as a security guard in the Metropolitan Museum of Art, which is my favorite museum of all time. And I've always wanted to know what it's like to work at the Met. I want to know as much as possible about the Met within the scope of its security, and I'm really excited to pick this up, and my friend Ariel recommended it to me because she said it would be right up my alley. So thank you so much to Simon & Schuster for sending me a copy of All the Beauty in the World. I feel like this is such an Olivia core book that I cannot wait to get to. It's definitely my next nonfiction that I want to dive into, and those are all my updates. Tomorrow I'm actually going to New York City for a really fun event with Simon & Schuster, and I'm really excited for that event, so I'll be sure to share my thoughts or if I get any books at that event tomorrow. It is the next day after the Simon & Schuster Lit Girl Summer event, and I have a goodie bag to share with you. The Lit Girl Summer event was so fun. We were in a conference room with a bunch of other book talkers and bookstagrammers, and we got to hear from the editor of all 3 of these books, but also 2 of the authors. This was a preview event for Simon & Schuster's upcoming summer titles, so we have What Hunger, House of Beth, and Oddbody. And all 3 of these books are perfect if you love weird girl lit fic. So Oddbody by Rose Keating is a captivating short story collection that delves into the weirdness of bodies and of existence itself through the voices of social outsiders and outcasts. This is written by an Irish author, and you all know I love Irish authors, so I cannot wait to eventually read this. Then we have House of Beth, where our main character is dealing with a breakup and a shocking incident where she retreats to her hometown in New Jersey, where she connects with her high school best friend Eli. But the shadow of Beth, Eli's late spouse, who was a committed homemaker and traditional wife, looms large and permeates every corner of their home, from the decor to the rhythms of daily life. This mysterious presence grows stronger, guiding Cassie down a path to uncover the truth about Beth's untimely death. This is a really special book for me because I asked Kerry to sign the novel, and she told me that this is her first ever book that she has signed as an author, which I think is so special, and it is featured in a reel over on my Instagram if you want to follow me there. And finally, we have What Hunger by Catherine Dang. It says, for fans of boy parts and Jennifer's body, What Hunger depicts Ronnie's Vietnamese heritage and her mother's own experiences in a moving exploration of ancestral trauma, inherited memory, and the violent power of teenage girlhood. I'm so excited to read all 3 of these stories. They all feel so haunting. It's always those types of stories that feel very polarizing, and you either get it or you don't, and the event was so fun. I got to make friends with the editors and the marketers who work for Simon & Schuster, and also some book talkers and bookstagrammers, so it was a great event overall, and I'm really happy about all 3 of these books. I have a whole list of updates to share with you before we close out this vlog. During my Saturday that I spent with Sarah, we went to a bookstore, a cafe, and a farmer's market, and I didn't get anything from the bookstore because 2 of the books that I wanted are not available at any single bookstore. I finally spoke to a bookseller because I personally love hunting for books myself, and I never really ask booksellers to help me find a book, but I decided to ask them to see if they have these 2 titles, and they looked on their database that can check every single bookstore in the area, and there are no copies available for these 2 titles. So I told myself it's time to throw in the towel and actually buy these books online. So I purchased them from Barnes & Noble because I'd rather give Barnes & Noble my money rather than Amazon. So I bought myself a copy of Everything You Ever Wanted by Louisa Salma, and I got myself a copy of The Country Will Bring Us No Peace by Matthew. I don't remember his last name, but these are 2 translated titles that I've been looking for in bookstores, and I have never found a copy of either of those titles in any bookstore, so it doesn't seem like it's available in person and you have to order them online. And when the 2 booksellers told me that the 2 titles that I wanted aren't available anywhere because they must be so niche, they paused and they were like, "You're so cool." And at the same exact time, I was like, I'm so indie. I'm just so unique and cool like that. 2 of the books that I really want are just so niche. And we had a lot of fun with each other. They were super nice. So rather than getting those 2 books that I really wanted, I got 2 postcards from the bookstore. And if you do not know, I collect a lot of postcards. I put them, let me turn you over. I put them on this store. One is Edward Hopper's Nighthawks. Edward Hopper is one of my favorite artists of all time. And then I got The White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland, which is one of my favorite books of all time. These 2 pieces of art are absolutely beautiful. They're actually cards, so I'm just going to cut out the back piece of the card and then paste this onto my door because I love decorating my door. It just makes it feel much more lively, and it's full of some of my favorite things. So I'm really happy I was able to get that from the bookstore and have a really wonderful conversation with the booksellers. They were so nice. Every time I talk to a bookseller, they're always so nice and friendly, and I should probably ask them for help more often, but I love the challenge, and this goes beyond bookstores. It goes for any store. I love the challenge of having to find an item that I really want by myself. I don't like asking for help because for me it's like a little scavenger hunt. that's all I have to update you on. So that is the end of this hodgepodge vlog featuring a bunch of different days in my life. I hope you enjoyed getting to see little snippets of my life. Let me know if you like these types of videos and if you want to see more of them in the future. If you want to follow me anywhere on social media, all my links are down below. I am very active over on Instagram and TikTok, and if you have not subscribed so already, be sure to do so to see more videos from me in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!